Hello, bonjour. I get Mathieu with you here today. So happy to be with you. Today we're talking about menopause. And it's a friend of mine that invited me to our show, and she is a specialist in menopausitivity. That's the name of our site, menopausitivity.ca. And she invited me, and then I said, you know what? Absolutely, I'll do a research and see what food can do for that. Well, first of all, let me tell you who I am. You might not know. So my name is Agathe Mathieu. I'm a living cuisine chef, and it's known as raw food, but I find that living cuisine sounds more delicious. Uh, 19 years. I've been 19 years in the fall, 2023, that I'm eating this way. And the first week into eating this way, my hands, like when you have arthritis, you can't, I mean, it becomes all swollen, and like my little finger wouldn't go very far. And so within a week it was gone. Within 3 months, totally gone from anywhere in my body and never came back. It's just remarkable what it can do. And so after that, I had a cafe for 8 years. I know my recipes are loved by everyone at the cafe, great reviews. And then you can check that as well, see on my website. And it's been, for me, it's been since the beginning, since I saw the change, the contribution to my health. I want to share that with people. I'm all excited about it. So menopause is a life transition. It's not a disease, not a disease. And again, I'll be with Cyrene actually on our show this Friday at 11 PD time, Pacific time, and menopausitivity. So if you go on Facebook and you search for menopausitivity, it'll be there. If you send me an email anyway, I can tell you, and I'll be there again. You can know some more about it and find out about Cyrene as well. So what's menopause? Menopause is defined as having no menstrual period for 1 year. And the age you experience can vary between late 40s and early 50s, about that period of time. And menopause can cause many changes in your body. As you know, the one who are going through, the one who've heard of it, you've heard of that hot flashes, weight gain, vaginal dryness, joint pain, mood swings. And then osteoporosis also is another thing. And I'm telling you the definition because I learned a few things myself. So what's the difference between perimenopause and menopause? Perimenopause refers to the period of time right before menopause begins. So on average, women are in perimenopause for 4 years before their period stops. So that's when you start to maybe have those symptoms. I was talking earlier. And during perimenopause, your body is beginning to transition into menopause. So that's when you start to have those hot flashes and what I mentioned earlier. Your menstrual cycle may become irregular, but it doesn't stop. When it stops, that's when you go into the 12 months leading to menopause. And then, so menopause is a natural transition of a woman's life. It's not a disease. And so our menstrual cycles comes to an end. And I don't know about you, but I certainly was happy when it was the end of it, was enough of it, right? I started, I was 12 and I went on, I can't remember now when it stopped. I think it was in my early 50s. Yeah, it was in my early 50s. Can't remember exactly which year. So it confirmed that 12 months after your last period. However, the transition and symptoms associated with menopause can last for several years. And that's when, having Cyrene, going on our website, you'll find more about what to do then. I know about food. I don't know about the other things. And during the transition to menopause and beyond, the hormone, estrogen, begins to decline. And this disrupting your normal cycle patterns of estrogen and progesterone. And me with food, that's what I do. I look at, okay, what's happening if I have this illness or if I feel this way? What's lacking in my body? And then I look at which food can I eat to bring this in. So I look at a natural way of healing rather than taking pharmaceutical. So decline estrogen levels negatively impact your metabolism and potentially leading to weight gain, which wasn't my case. I didn't gain weight. These changes, because I was on this living cuisine lifestyle, these changes may also affect your cholesterol levels and how your body digests carbs. Now, there's this show, the two shows prior have this, there's an explanation on its type 2 diabetes, and it explains about the cholesterol level and the body digests carbs, and the blood sugar and the insulin, insulin deficiency. And so you can find more about listening to those two shows. And many women experience symptoms like the hot flashes and difficulty sleeping during this transition. So now, what are the food to eat? That's what I did. I went like, okay, we need to have more estrogen because it's decreasing. So how can we keep the level of estrogen that is having us being healthy? How can we keep this up? So there are evidence that certain foods may help relieve some symptoms of menopause, such as hot flashes, poor sleep, low bone density. And healthy fats, such as omega-3 fatty acid, may benefit women going through menopause. And so food in highest in omega-3 fatty acids, you've heard of it, the fatty fish, the mackerel, the salmon, the anchovies. And now, when it comes to fish, I'm telling you, be careful where you buy your fish from, or where the fish that you buy is from. So if it's from a fish farm, again, when we as human beings come up with plans to make certain things different than what nature has done, sometimes it's not the idea. So what might happen with fish farms is that there might be too many fish in that area. They might be giving them antibiotic. They might be giving them, they're giving them a food that is not what they will find in the wild, because they have to come up with something to feed them, but they're not themselves going out there and collecting all the little microorganisms in the water, the plankton and the what the fish eats, but they're making a fish meal out of what might be close to what they would eat in nature. And they are in that small environment, so they're pooping away, and then it's maybe not the cleanest water to be in. So be careful. Mercury is a big issue with fish, and too much mercury in your body, that's not good. You don't want that. It affects your brain, it affects your memory. You don't want to have that. Like you don't want them in your feeding either, like your teeth. If you have done that, check that out. So you can have the omega-3 fatty acid in a vegan source, like flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds. It's in there. And vegan sources of omega-3 fatty acid includes, like I just said, the flax seeds, the chia seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, Brussels sprouts, seaweeds, kidney beans, purslane, and spinach. Now, pay attention to the food that I mentioned, because you'll see all the other things lower down that is good to have to keep your estrogen level at a good level for your health, and you'll see that they repeat themselves. And that's what is in my lifestyle, what I eat, and probably it does explain why. I never thought of it, of it really at the time, because I didn't have major issue with going through perimenopause and menopause. But it explains now why it wasn't an issue. It's because of what I was eating. So the next thing is whole grains and pseudo grains. So let's do the whole grains first. Whole grains are high in nutrients, including fiber and B vitamins, such as thiamine, niacin, riboflavin, and pantothenic acid. And they're typically high in iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, selenium, B vitamins, and dietary fiber. And again, in those previous shows on type 2 diabetes, I explained the second show, that's where I explained about flour. So if you buy whole wheat flour, other kind of flour, it's not necessarily whole. You have to really read and really make sure that they really did the flour, including the outer layer, which is the bran, including the seed nutrient-rich embryo, which is called the germ, and then including the endosperm. And the endosperm, that's what they use when they make flour. Usually, they use just the endosperm. They don't use the bran, and they don't use the germ. So that's not whole. If they don't use that, it's not whole. It's a part of. And when it's not whole, that's when it creates problem in the body, because the body is not doing well with that food that has been processed. Whole grain foods include brown rice, wheat berry, barley, rye, bulgur, millet, old oats, old wheat, spelt, brown rice, farro, durum, sorghum, teff, 3 tikal, don't know what that is, I have to search on that, corn and popcorn. And then when I say popcorn, of course, I don't need popcorn that come, I remember before knowing what I know now, buying popcorn in those bags that have some sort of a, coating on it, some sort of a fat something. Don't do that. And salt, don't do that. Just do the corn, the corn, the kernel that have been dehydrated, and use an air popper. That's it. And don't, yeah, I mean, maybe add a little bit of salt, but just don't cover it up with butter. Don't do that because butter is processed again, right? So, you know what you can do? I'm just thinking that would be delicious. So in my ebook at the end, I have recipes, and in those recipes, I'm talking about the large salad, and there's a dressing that is made with replacing the oil with water and nuts or seeds. So there's no oil, because as Dr. Furman says, oil goes from your lips to your hips. You don't want that. I don't want that. I'm sure you don't want that. So yeah, there are dressing there. It probably would be absolutely fantastic to do your popcorn in an air popper and then add a little bit of that dressing and mix. And then you would cover it up with some sort of, it's not butter, it's all healthy, but it gives it a flavor. There you go. It's an idea. And pseudo grain, I was talking about that earlier. So pseudo grains are seeds that cook like grains, but they're not grains, they're seeds. And they're naturally gluten-free, actually. And that's what I did at my cafe. I used buckwheat, quinoa, so it was gluten-free because my cafe was gluten-free. So pseudo grains are quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, wild rice, kaniwa. I found that this morning. I have to see if I can find some of that here, or maybe online. It's the first time I hear of that. I love when I discover things like that, something new. That's fun. Fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins and mineral, fiber, and antioxidant. So again, you'll see it repeats itself the whole way, all the way down, with having so much vitamin and minerals and fiber and antioxidants, which you don't find in a piece of meat. It's just what it is. So I'm not saying don't eat meat, but I'm saying don't make it your main, portion on your plate. You have a huge salad and you have a little piece of meat. And not every day, maybe. That's an idea, right? So start your meal with a large salad. And as Dr. Furman would say, make it big and make it first. Because when you eat that at first, you eat less of the other things. So it's a good way to get that into getting all those vitamins and minerals. The other thing that is good is phytoestrogen containing foods. So phytoestrogen, or dietary estrogens, see what I mean? So we want to, again, keep those level of estrogens in our body, are naturally occurring compounds found in plants. Ta-da! And vegetables, fruits, some grains, and legumes. It's just what I said earlier. So it's so easy. You have that in your cupboard and you're set. And you know what? Like, if you think that protein should all, well, I'll talk with proteins after that. Let me finish the fruits first and I'll go to protein after. I'll tell my story then. So food high in phytoestrogens are flax seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, almonds, walnuts, apples, carrots, pomegranates, strawberries, cranberries, grapes, yams, lentils, alfalfa sprouts, mung beans, sprouts, edamame, tofu, tempeh, miso, red clover, licorice roots, hops, oats, and barley. And I mean, I'm saying so many things here. Don't worry. Send me an email and I'll send you the document so you have that list. And then quality protein, the decline in estrogen from menopause is linked to decreased muscle mass and bone strength. So you don't want that. So what are the food are high in protein? Yes, you think animal products. Well, like I was saying, in the animal products, then you don't have those vitamins and minerals and antioxidant and fiber. You don't have that. So eat little of that meat if you really are, want to keep that, but know that they are protein, very good protein in plant-based. And they are lentils and beans, black beans, pinto beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, peas, nutritional yeast, quinoa, amaranth, millet, oat, spelt, teff, hemp seeds, green peas, spirulina, banana, blackberries, Then we have again, the chia seeds, the wild rice, the nut butter, broccoli, spinach, asparagus, artichoke, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprout, tofu, tempeh. I mean, I said that already earlier, so it repeats. It's so what you need. The protein is all in those as well. And the collagen is a protein. Did you know that? And it makes your skin, as you know, more elastic and bones stronger. We want that, right? So food that naturally produces collagen: beans, orange, bell peppers, tomato, broccoli, all grains and nuts. And your body needs food high in nutrients like vitamin C to help with the boost the production of that collagen, as well as zinc and copper. So what's high in vitamin C? You'll see it repeats itself again: plums, cherries, rose hips, chili peppers, guava, sweet yellow peppers, black currants, cantaloupe, parsley, mustard, spinach, kale, kiwi, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lemons, lychees, persimmons, papaya, strawberries, oranges, papaya, grapefruit, pineapple, mango, cantaloupe, cauliflower, red cabbage. So you make a large salad, and you have, you know, that as well in it. So that's what they're saying is, when you eat your large salad, you put in it a mixture of those within that same meal. That's what I'm saying. And then it boosts the production of the vitamin C in this case, and to boost production of zinc, legumes, nuts and seeds, and to boost the copper, nuts and seeds, leafy greens, shiitake mushroom, and raw cacao. You see how easy it is. It's so easy. And I was saying earlier, so your meat, you know, you have to have a freezer to freeze so much. They're talking about food shortage. We're all concerned about this, right? So you have to have, you know, if you have meat in your freezer, you have so much room in your freezer, and meat won't last. I mean, it becomes freeze burn when you leave it for too long in your freezer, or you have that special packaging that doesn't affect the meat, but you know what I mean. Whereas legumes, nuts, seeds, it's in your cupboard, and then you soak them the legumes 24 hours, a full day. Soak them and then rinse them very, very well, and you'll see that kind of foam, you know, that's gonna appear on the top. And then so rinse well until it's clear water, and that gets rid of the enzyme inhibitors that bind to it. Becomes an anti-nutrient, so it prevents you of assimilating all the nutrients. You want to get rid of that, and other things as well. Get rid of what you should not be eating. So you do that, and then you sprout them. Well, it starts to germinate in the water. So you can cook after if you like. In my case, I sprout because I eat them sprouted. And the beauty, if you sprout and you dehydrate for 24 hours and you put that into a blender, like chickpeas, like buckwheat, like quinoa, you make a flour. You make a flour in your blender. You don't need a flour mill. As simple as that. But then you have a whole food. That's what I was saying earlier. You need to have the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. You need all of it, right? So that's what happens. Food to avoid. Level 1, check this out. NOVA food classification. All I've been saying earlier is level 1 food. That's what I eat. It's from the garden to my plate. That's level 1 food. And so in there, you'll see that level 2 and 3 and 4 are not as recommended because they're not as healthy for you. And then the sugar and processed food. Sugar is level 2. Processed food is level 3. And then 4. I mean, even more processed, like what they do in labs now. I mean, it's even further from nature. So that's really processed. So they're suggesting not to eat that. And alcohol and caffeine. Well, you know, to not do too much of that, or none of it. Menopause is a life transition. It is not a disease. And you know, I invite you to instead of walking around and say, I am menopausal, I am in my menopause, I am. No. You're in life transition. And yeah, on the other side, you don't have that bleeding every month, which is quite nice. So it's a good thing. Look at the good side of it. And then eat this way, and you'll have like next to no side effects. I'm telling you, I know, because that's what happened for me. And a whole foods diet, a whole food diet, high in fruits, vegetables, all grains, high quality protein, healthy fat, are your medicine through nutrition. So it is your medicine, but it's with nutrition. And you don't have side effects. And how about transforming your daily meals in daily doses of natural medicine? How about that? You do that every day. I'm not telling you to do something any different. You eat every day. Eat something different, and you'll see the result. So natural medicine that eases your way through that life transition. Now, let me show you. I'll share my screen, and I'll show you my, here it is. No, here it is. Share. Let me just go through this. Oh, here we go. That's my website. And healingvegancuisine.com. You can see here at the top, healingvegancuisine.com. You have my story. You have my classes, you know, what happens and what you all learn. You have the free book that I was telling you about, the ebook. And you can get that one for free. You just send me your email here, you receive it. And you see all that gorgeous food, you can eat that. And that will give you all the vitamins, the minerals, the fiber, the antioxidant. It gives you all I just mentioned to you in my presentation here. And you can eat so nicely. I mean, pizza and lasagna and crackers, and this is a dill nut cheese, pasta, bowls, wraps. Yes, you can eat desserts. They're made with, I sweeten with dates. There's no sugar. You won't have a problem with that. And you know, I know because I had people coming to my cafe, and they came to my cafe especially for that, to get rid of, you know, not feeling well, be that it was maybe menopause or it's cholesterol or high blood sugar or gut issues, or that's why they came to my cafe. Nori rolls, I can also make bread, you know, burgers, and yeah, wonderful cakes. And then my classes are, you know, you can start only with breakfast, and I suggest you do that. Start with one, stick to it, and then get it into your system and get it into being organized, and do that all the time. And you'll see, I mean, especially, yeah, I suggest start with your breakfast. That's how you start the day. And then you have the snacks here, or the main dishes, as I was saying earlier, pizza, nori, burger. The sweets, here is the entire collection. You can have all the classes in there. And here is a free one. It's a free cake. So you can see how I teach and see if you like it. And then it gives you an idea what's going to happen in all the other classes. There's also a discovery call, so you can get in touch with me. We can, you know, 30 minutes together and look at what's in your life and how I can be of help. One-on-one coaching, I do that as well. And then here you have wonderful testimonial from my customer, or from James, a friend of mine, that is also a raw chef. It's amazing. You can see Plant Food Culinary Art. You can visit his site too. He's awesome. And then here you have my, you can send me an email, a question, whatever you might have. Here at the bottom, you've got all my, you know, my social media, my Facebook, Instagram, my email is here, LinkedIn, YouTube, many videos on YouTube. And what you see here is the icon for Win-Win Moment Show, the one I'm on now. And earlier, I talked to you about that friend of mine. So here it is. Her name is Cyrene. That's Cyrene here. Isn't she beautiful? So Cyrene has this wonderful website, and it's about, like she called it, menopausitivity. You can see here her logo. And so she's amazing. She knows all about making it, you know, to not have, that this life transition is easy for you. She knows that. I know the food. She knows all the other stuff. She also knows a few things, of course, on food. So there we are. So it was a pleasure to be with you today. I just want to finish with a little something here to inspire you. Imagine that colorful, delicious meals would be part of reducing those hot flashes. Imagine fewer night sweats and chills. Imagine fewer mood swings, and people around you will appreciate that. And imagine little or no weight gain. Imagine your health destiny is in your own hands. Today, start investing in your health saving account. It's a great investment, and it will be beneficial for life. I'll see you again next week. Thank you again for being with me, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.